Hello, good evening. I am Rashi Sandeep Chudewal. Today's date is 24/9/2021. Our today's video topic is access specifier and class and objects. So, today's video we are going to see that what are the access modifiers and class objects and their types and descriptions. So, we will start with our today's topic. There are the two types of modifiers in Java, that is access modifiers and non-access modifiers. So we are going to see access modifiers. The access modifiers in Java specifies the accessibility or scope of a field, method, constructor or a class. We can change the class level of fields, constructors, methods and class by applying the access modifiers on it. There are four types of access modifiers that are private, default, protected, and public. So, first we will see private. The access level of a private modifier in is only within the class. It cannot be accessed from outside the class. Next, that is default. The access level of a default modifier is only within the package. It cannot be accessed from outside the package. If you don't specify any access level, it will be the default. Now, next will be protected. The protected means the access level of a protected modifier is within the package and uh, outside the package through the child classes. If you do not make the child class, it cannot be accessed from the outside the package. Now the next one, that is public. The access level of a public modifier is everywhere. It can be accessed from within the class, outside the class, within the package and outside the package also. There are many non-access modifiers also, such as static, abstract, synchronized, native, volatile, transient, and etc. Here we are going to learn about access modifiers only. So let us we can see a simple table we can see for the access modifiers. Like access modifiers are private, protected, and public. And private means within the class. Within um, we are going to see how the table is going to show. First, private means within the class. Within package, no. Outside the package or by subclasses only, no. Outside package, no. And default, within the class, yes. Within the package, yes. Outside the package by subclass only, no. Outside the package, no. And the protected, within the class, yes. Within the package, yes. Outside package by subclass only, yes. And but outside package, no. And public is within the package, within the class, yes. Within the package, yes. Outside the package by subclass only, yes. And outside the package also, yes. So like this, the table shows how they work shortly. And the private, we can see some example for private. The private access modifier is accessible only within the class, we have seen. Let us take a simple example for that. In this example, we have created two classes, A and simple. A class contains private data member and private method. We are accessing these private members from outside the class, so there is a compile time error. So in class A, we have given a private in data equals to 40 and private void message method in that sysout print hello. And next class, that is simple. In that in main method, we have declared a obj equals to new a. And in sysout, we have given obj.data. It will give a compile time error, and obj.message, it will also give a compile time error. So role of a private constructor, that is, if you make any constructor private, you cannot create the instance of that class from outside the classes. Okay. No, you should note one point. A class cannot be private or protected, expected, nested classes. Okay, expect nested class. Now we are going to see what are class and objects. So, class and objects in that is in object oriented programming technique. We design a programming using objects and classes. An object in Java is the physical as well as logical entity, whereas a class in Java is a logical entity only. Now we will going to see first what is an object in Java. An entity that has a state and behavior is known as an object, like chair, pen, table, and etc. It can be physical or logical. Now, an object has three characteristics, that are state, behavior, and identity. State means represents the data value of an object, and behavior means represents the behavior of an object such as deposit, withdraw, and etc. And identity means an object identity is typically implemented by a unique ID. The value of ID is not visible to the external user. However, it is used internally by the JVM to identify each object uniquely. Okay. Now, an object is an instance of a class. A class is a template or a blueprint from which objects are created. So, an object is the instance of a class. Now, we will see what is a class. A class is a group of objects which have a common properties. It is the template of a blueprint from which objects are created, and it is a logical entity. Class is an logical entity. It cannot be physical. Now, next point, that is a class in Java can contain fields, methods, constructor, blocks, and nested class and interfaces. Okay, so syntax of declare class, that is class name in curly braces, field, and methods. Now, instance variable in Java means a variable which is created inside the class but outside the method is known as an instance variable. Instance variable does not get memory at compile time. It gets memory at runtime when an object or instance is created. That is why it is known as an instance variable. So let us take an one example for class and object, that is main within the class. In this example, we have created a student class which has two data members, ID and name. We are creating the object of the student class by new keyword and printing the object's value. Here we are creating a main method inside the classes. We have created uh, defining a student class means class student in curly braces int id and string name. In main method, a student s1 equals to new student, creating an object of student. Now printing the values of an object means in sysout s1 dot id and next sysout s1 dot name, and it will print 0 and null. So this is an example for object and classes. So in today's video we have seen what are the objects, classes, and access modifiers also. So thank you.